Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Let's see. Can we hear me now? Good morning, y'all. I just had to get this off my chest real fast. Okay. So, I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Oh, let me get the Thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves today. On your way in, make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video over here on Larger Curves, and so you can become part of this beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here. Okay? Now, Larger Curves, I like to just take it a different place sometimes, okay? Because my mind has been around this world for some decades now, okay? And so I have thoughts, I have opinions, I have obvious biases and whatnot, as do everybody else. However, what I witnessed in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night, the night before rather, triggered me, y'all. It triggered me. I don't know if you watch any of my other videos here in um, Larger Curves, but I have done videos in the past about how I don't believe that our entertainment should be triggering. Okay. And specifically for minority groups, and I'm speaking from a minority air quotes perspective because we all actually know that there are more brown people in the world than anything else. But I'll go ahead and give it an air quote minority. Okay. But I feel like a lot of the shows promote harmful stereotypes. They show millions of people on a global audience what is acceptable treatment, because if it's entertainment, it has to be okay, right? So entertainment teaches people how to speak different languages. You've heard stories about how immigrants and refugees come to this country not knowing how to speak English, and they'll watch entertainment and learn how to speak English from entertainment. Case in point, Aquafina. I don't know if you know her. She was in the what was that? Crazy Rich Asians movie, and she got called on the carpet because she has a air quote black scent, right? She's a woman of Asian descent. However, when she speaks, she be talking all like this here, and what you gonna do about that there, and da 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 da, right? So she like puts a lot of black scent on it, the stereotypical black scent, because as a black person, I don't sound like that on a regular basis. I know how to like code switch or whatever, but she got famous off of sounding black but being Asian in a way, right? So I was just using that as an example of how entertainment impresses the world, of how movies and shows and documentaries and films impress the world, and thus impress your impression of how you can treat people in the world. Hey, Aaron D's in the house. What's good? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. Um, I don't know why my stuff is kind of sticky this morning. I don't know if my internet is tripping or what. Bear with me because I told it to show your comment, but it's not doing anything on this computer. Okay. Can I show it now? There. Did you hear everything I just said, Aaron? Can you press a one if you did? Because I was frozen on my screen, girl. Anyway, so I was talking about this, and Aaron, you saw me in Zach's live yesterday. I feel like any chance to like tear down racism and reveal it for what it is an opportunity to kind of counteract the regular the very regular treatment of certain groups of people based off of the harmful stereotypes produced and put out as entertainment, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we're really impressionable, obviously, as humans. But what happened in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills definitely triggered me, because it was dehumanizing. That's the thumbnail for this, was dehumanizing, the dehumanization for entertainment. And then I put Garcelle's picture there. This is all allegedly, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Garcelle feels dehumanized. I'm not saying that um, this is her truth. I'm saying that this is my truth of what I felt like I witnessed from that. So I guess I just got a little Crystal Minkoff in my answer, but this is all based off of my feelings as a viewer, you guys. I'm not trying to say that this is Garcelle's truth, but just looking at how they treated her, I felt like there was a lot of dehumanization in play. Um, Let me run this real fast. Let me make me like this. There we go. Make it like this because it's kind of in cool reel. Let's let it play. It doesn't have any music, but it just has some images so that I can have my train of thought not leave. Now, dehumanization is the process of depriving a person or group of positive human qualities. Okay. Hey, Gabrielle. Oh, I'm great, you guys. Thanks for popping in. I don't have my um track to thank you, but thank you guys for popping in. So we're still dehumanizing others, as you just heard from that definition. That's dehumanization. And this post from Garcelle is actually what made me think of it. This is a famous quote by James Baldwin. If you don't know who James Baldwin is, he was a revolutionary within the Black community in his era, and he helped change minds and impress people. Okay. So this is a James Baldwin quote, and this is actually where it all started. So while I'm saying that I don't believe that, Garcelle has this for her truth, this post she did got me thinking that that's exactly what I witnessed, right? So James Baldwin is quoted as saying, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. Isn't that chilling? Like, I just got goosebumps again reading this. When I first read it, it gave me a physical reaction also. We can disagree and still love each other. And that's what I love about these YouTube streets, you guys. I love my YouTube family. I love Aaron. I love Gabrielle. I love Cricket. I love Prosperity. I love Toddy. You know what I'm saying? I love you guys. And part of why I love these YouTube streets is because we all have our different opinions. We all have different shaped booty holes, and we get to share them, and we get to still respect each other and be in communication and commune with each other and learn and grow with each other, right? But on this show that we watched, the treatment that they give their co-star for a paycheck is rooted in her oppression and denial of her human right to exist. I love you too, Aaron. And that's just my takeaway. She did post this. I did witness dehumanization. I witnessed the ladies not pass her a tissue. I don't know if you guys are from the 70s and 80s when the Jackson 5 was crazy popular. And there was this famous, like, funny thing. We used to say, pass me a tissue, Tito. Because when they won an award one time, Jermaine Jackson asked Tito Jackson to pass him a tissue. And his voice was unusually high. And he said, pass me a tissue, Tito. So they were very willing to pass Lisa a tissue. But when Garcelle needed a tissue, when Garcelle needs a hand, when Garcelle needs empathy, when Garcelle needs compassion, when Garcelle needs support, and on the same side, when Crystal needs compassion, understanding, validation, any of the things you give a human, any of the things these same ladies would give their fur babies more compassion than what they show Crystal and Garcelle. In my opinion, Gabrielle says exactly, the oppressor want dehumanizing, otherwise they aren't look like him. Yep, it's exactly what Garcelle says. Exactly. Hey, Brenda. I'm so glad you guys popped in for my little Friday rant. We're not going to be too long because I have to go take the youngest where it's field trip day to the pumpkin patch. But this was really just on my heart, you guys, and I had to share it because hopefully some healing can happen. If people aren't really afraid to see how they're treating people and what it's based in, then maybe we can just move forward quicker. I mean, you might or may not know, but Black people, melanated humans, been going through it for a good 400 years, being dehumanized as a way of okaying the treatment that we get, the over policing, the much harsher sentences, because they don't even see people as human. They don't see Garcelle as human on this show, and they don't see Crystal as human on this show. Depriving someone of positive human qualities and an authentic emotional response is a positive human quality, in my opinion. When people feel like their group is coming under attack from another group, it increases the blatant level of dehumanization. And this is just going to go back to why I'm saying it's really important we look at how this is air quotes entertainment, but it's also lessons for those who don't know. It's also reaffirming for those who want to stay ignorant to the fact that they dehumanize other people groups. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to, this isn't a tear down. This isn't a tear down. This is just like, hey, can we talk about it? I mean, there's so many layers to the thing that is racism. And racism is just a tip because it ultimately has to do with classism. In my opinion, it's like an offshoot of the isms, right? But as just a melanated human thriving in this realm, I need this to get solved. I need this to be done. I need people's minds to be open to looking at the very many different layers of it instead of saying, oh, it's made up. Oh, people are sensitive. Oh, you're taking it the wrong way. Oh. And all the while giving a person that does something like this the excuse that, oh, they don't understand English. Oh, it's not their first language. You see how that takes the responsibility off that person to change? If it's a language barrier, no, smack them. That was dehumanizing what you did. And if you call yourself a philanthropist, lip licker Diana, then you might want to learn how to treat people within that people group so that you don't come off looking like how you come off looking like she wants to look like a savior of some type, but she doesn't take the time to understand the people who she said she's trying to save. Cough, cough, when she said she invested in Haiti. So I don't know. It's a lot of different layers. What are the people saying? Aaron said, the part that made me the most mad at the reunion was them not really apologizing for throwing Garcelle's book in the trash. Exactly. Just seems like they made a joke and they were laughing. Exactly. And that's dehumanizing. They acted like she didn't put her blood, sweat, and tears into that book. They're acting like she didn't, work on that and share herself and become vulnerable within the pages of that book. And it was all for a joke. It was all ha ha, kiki, funny. They would still be talking trash about it if the roles were reversed. And that's also part of dehumanization is like, you expect me to treat you like an entire human, excuses, compassion, validation, and all, yet I am not afforded the same compassion, validation, and all. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a balanced playing field. It's not a balanced expectation. And I really felt as a viewer, especially seeing Andy after 15 years of interacting with all different types of women, after 15 years of that, for him to not pass.
I don't hate you, Diana. I just want to be left alone.
Or anything, I felt like that was crazy. And this gives way to my second thing. It's a very hostile work environment on these shows, which is against the law here in California.
So therefore, if you're not around a lot of people of color, what is said is perceived differently when it comes to us.
You see how she has to keep on teaching people? But when Ebony was trying to teach the people on New York, because she understood that millions of people.
Wait a minute. No, so you want in the.
When Ebony was in New York trying to educate people on the Black experience, the melanated experience as an American Black person, she was kicked off the show. Nobody wanted to hear it. Oh, she's trying to educate us. It was, oh, she's ruining the show. Oh, this, oh, that. And then simultaneously expect as an ally for us to educate you. Look, I got kids, I got a job, I got husband, I have hobbies. I don't really have time to educate everybody on their microaggressions and dehumanization tendencies, but I'm taking time today because with my platform, this is one of the shows that I like to review, and it came up again. Another thing that came up again is that NENE was right, y'all. NENE tried to tell us, and nobody listened to NENE. They were like, oh, it's not the right messenger. Oh, she got paid. Oh, she worked there. Oh, she supported her family and was able to thrive and exist despite how she said she was being treated. That means she's lying. But obviously, she's not lying. And had that been authentically addressed when NENE made that complaint, had anybody at Bravo, Evolution, True, whatever the things are over there, had really taken it seriously, then the moment that we witnessed on last night's, on the other night's reunion, part 2 of Beverly Hills, it would have played out differently if they had really had sensitivity training. It would have played out differently if Andy had really undergone some type of sensitivity training, because sensitivity training means you look for ways to be sensitive to people that don't look like you. But he didn't do that because they don't care. But Ebony cared enough to try to share it with the people. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares who's at the moment about the recycling or who did what? Apologize to Garcelle. Exactly. Those skanks didn't even want to apologize. They were just but they would have expected an apology. They expected 10 thank yous for a can of freaking spaghetti sauce. You know what I'm saying? So that's another part of it. They expect what they're not willing to give. It's interesting, all allegedly, in my opinion. Certain people can have the same skin tone. It doesn't guarantee that they're a friend. Exactly. Cough, cough, Cherie. Exactly. Your voice can change. It can, right? I hope so. Hi, Vessie Pooh. Yes. So this isn't going to be too much longer, just like 10 more minutes. You guys have any? Oh yeah, that's where I was going. So
when it comes to us,
work environment.
So therefore, if you're not around a lot of people,
they don't care. You see how
what is said is perceived differently when it comes to us.
So these are ways that you can create a hostile work environment right here. Discussing sexual activities. So we know that Lisa Rinna discussed that about about Denise, right? Telling off-color jokes. That's what Erica did about sex towards Denise's teenage daughters when she said the 13-year-olds were given BJs and having trains ran on them. Remember that? Unnecessary touching, not in this case. Commenting on physical attributes, not a lot. Insensitive pictures, racially insensitive posts with using vernacular that you don't always use to point out the people that you're talking to. Cough, cough again, Lisa, and you hoes are going to learn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Crude language, sabotaging the other victim's work. That is what Lisa tried to do with that book, because I feel like Garcelle should have been able to leave that in the book. If Lisa didn't demand that it was taken off a show that we can repeat and rewind to see exactly verbatim what Garcelle was going to say in the book, then I don't see why she would try to take it off the shelves a week before it was going to get published to final print. Remember? So to me, that was sabotage because she could have called her a lot sooner before that. As Garcelle mentioned, she had already read the book, didn't have a problem with it. And then the week before it was supposed to go to print, she's like, nah, 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 nah. But since that time, her own daughter has co-signed on Garcelle's statements that Lisa is a troll. So let's keep going. We're almost done, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves today. I know it's kind of heavy for a Friday, but we're still going to go have
Are you
fun.
kidding me? You want me? No, wait a minute. No, so you want, in the middle of me trying to protect my child, I have to then come and save all you?
That's what they expect, Garcelle. That's what they expect. And that's not acceptable.
She is targeting me on social media almost every day, sometimes twice a day.
Creating a hostile
I
work
don't want you
environment,
harassing
trying
me
to
on
get her
social
off the
media.
show.
I haven't harassed anyone here on social media. What are you saying? I would want to say to Diana, why is she so obsessed with me?
Why are you so obsessed with me? So the dehumanization in this case is creating a hostile work environment. The hostile work environment, along with dehumanization, is the life that melanated people live every day in this world. Let me tell you guys a quick story before we get out of here. I worked at this job. I'm a real estate agent. And I was working at this broker's office in California. And one of the oldest working agents there had been there for over 25 years. His name was Woody. And he was a little piece of short. He was such a short little Nick Nolte midget looking dude. I'm sorry if that wasn't the correct thing to say, but he wasn't full on midget, but I guess he was kind of a short person rather, because he was like 4'8" or something like that. Like, isn't it if you're not over a certain height, you're considered a little person? So he was basically a small man, and he was a Caucasian, and he fancied himself to be like Clint Eastwoody. He was always carrying a gun. He would bring it to the real estate office where we worked. He would show it to me often. That's creating a hostile work environment. He decided to go to the broker of the office. And this is like within the last 10 years this happened. No, within the last 15 years, you guys. So within 2020, within this, current 2020s. So he went to the broker of the office and said, "Oh, we don't want Larja to come through the front door anymore. There's a door in the back. Can't she use that door and just go in there, and we keep things separate? Since she's in charge of that department and we're in charge of this, just have her and her people go through this door and keep everything separate." All this while smiling in my face, asking me, did I want to go to the shooting range with him, all kind of shit. And then Obama got in office. So it was 2008 by that time. I worked there for some years. Obama got in office, and he kind of had a meltdown. He came in to my area, well, because actually the broker tried to make it separate. And I was like, dude, I'm going to go through whatever door I want to go through when I want to go through it. And so are the people that have been coming to this office for the last 25 years. So I don't know why you're trying to change stuff now that I got here, but I see what you're doing. And I don't think that it's a good move. So I just kept on using the other door. And they did all kind of shit. They tried to change the locks. They did all kind of shit. But then when the clients we were working with also complained about, why are there so many doors? Can't we just do it the other way? They finally went back to the other door. But that man, when Obama got elected at our place of work, comes to me out of everybody in the office and starts talking about, I don't vote for people based off the color of their skin. I'm sure you voted for Obama because he looks like you and da da da. And we had never talked before. He didn't know who the fuck I voted for. I mean, I did vote for Obama, not because he was black, because I agreed with his politics at the time, and that speech really got me stirred, that got him on the map. And I was like, well, maybe he's not steeped in politics enough to really make these changes, right? So Woody. And then he finished the conversation by saying some shit like, that's your president. That's not my president. That's your president. And then the Tea Party started, and MAGA and everything else. So I just want to let you guys know that this is the experience of melanated humans, brown, black, people of color, every day. Dehumanized, hostile work environments, microaggressions. And I'm all for not even calling them microaggressions anymore. I'm for just call it what it is. Bitch, you're being aggressive right now. You didn't need to say that. If we start checking people in real time and stop pussyfooting around it and call a spade, then perhaps we'd be further along in this fight. But I feel like we keep allowing the fear of people not wanting to be called a racist. We allow that more power than the power of getting over racism and uniting as a people. I don't want to be dehumanized at work. I don't want shows to show millions of people around the globe that it's okay to sit there silently when a black woman is emoting. I don't want it to seem like when in the middle of her emoting, that laughter and side conversation without any acknowledgement of her emotions is a tolerable experience for her. I don't need that for entertainment. So that's why we're talking about it today. And hopefully we can all, after this live, just go back out into our Fridays and do our personal work, because I got work to do too. We could do our personal work so that we can all treat people in the most authentic human way, where we allow for their positive human experience to be not only validated, but appreciated and freaking enhanced. That's my hope for today. I don't want nobody else to have to feel like ourselves. I don't want me as a viewer to have to be triggered by this. I don't want my sons to have to get over policed. I'm getting a little emotional because I really just want things. I really just want things to be different, you guys. I don't know when that can happen, but it has to start sooner than later. Thanks, Mims. I know we're resilient, but for how much longer? Why can't we all just use the resilience to get over the radiation? Why do we have to keep reusing the resilience to get over something that's been a problem for so long? Anyway, I done did it now. Okay, so my point was, treat people kind, be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. If you see somebody crying, pass me a tissue, Tito. If you see somebody hurting, take a minute out of your busy schedule to just be like a compassion check, you know? Anyway, that's my shtick. Thanks for tuning in to Larger Curves today. Make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks, Aaron. Love you too, Cricket. Love you, Mams. Love you, Aaron. Love you. Oh, ST was in the house. Thank you, ST. Vessi Pooh, Brenda, Gabrielle. I appreciate all my curvies, and I'll see you in the next video.